And right now it's time for that time when we have our special guest. Tonight's special guest is Paul Jones. Paul is here tonight to give us baby boomers a helping hand with the changes coming to our digital television system. Paul is dealing with baby boomer inquiries every day at his 100% store in Albany. And don't forget to have pen and paper ready to win a Panasonic DVD player and video recorder worth $800. We welcome Paul Jones as our special guest on The Beat Goes On. Paul Jones, welcome to The Beat Goes On.
Thank you.
Nice to have a youngie on the show now and again, isn't it?
Nice to be called a youngie.
Yeah. How old would you be, Paul?
Just gone 40, actually.
Just gone 40. What's it like to be young?
Well, it's the look of an ancient retailer. Yeah.
Now, Paul, you're here today because we're going to be talking about television sets and the huge changes that have happened, and the fact that the government has told us that we are going to be switching off the analog network by December 2013.
Correct.
And there's going to come a day when you think, oh, I think I'll watch TV tonight, and sit down, got your remote control, no television. That's going to happen, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah.
But first of all, a little bit about Paul Jones. How did you get into retail, Paul? And
I've done it since I left school, to be fair, so
Really?
yes, just a few years.
You've seen some changes, haven't you?
A lot of changes, yes.
Oh.
Not, mainly just in the television fronts, as in the sizes and that sort of stuff. But
everything's changed,
the
hasn't
quality and obviously just the erosion of price. They've become much more affordable than they used to be as well.
it? Now, Paul, you're with 100%, and we all know 100%. Could you sing the jingle for us, please?
I'd rather not.
100%.
That's the one. You've done it before.
Yeah, so now there's lots and lots of 100% throughout New Zealand, isn't there?
Correct.
How many are there, by the way?
Off the top of my head, I think at the moment about 76 with branded
76.
stores. Yeah.
But you're with Albany Extreme. What's
Correct.
the difference between an extreme 100% and a everyday 100%?
Basically, the amount of core products that are on display and obviously their footprint. Albany Extreme is one of the biggest within New Zealand in an appliance store, so to speak. So, and probably being owner operated, we're quite unique in that way of having a larger store. Most of the owner operated stores are actually of a smaller size. So.
Now, this is for all our 50-plus audience who aren't too sure on what's happening with the television. So let's start with what we've got. What we've had it for years, haven't we? We've had, it's what's called an analog transmitter.
Correct.
It's been sitting on hills right throughout the country. Now, that was the first thing, and everything was going fine. And then, of course, then they said, we're going digital. So what does it mean by going digital?
Well, going digital, of course, is giving you, for the consumer's point of view, a much clearer picture. You're probably aware when Sky came into the market in New Zealand, it offered more of an array of channels via the same network, and Freeview are trying to be doing the same, because a lot of people, they know that what Freeview is, because it's in a lot of mediums at the moment, as in television. They've got flyer drops and newspapers and so on.
Do you get many 50-pluses? Are they on the lookout for new television sets?
Correct. It's quite a big part of our particular store, quite a big part of our market is the over 50. So.
And sometimes you feel like cuffing them around the ear hole there.
No, not at all. No, we're a listening crew. Yeah.
So what's some of their main concerns? What's some of the 50-pluses' main concerns about? They sometimes say to you, well, shall I keep my existing TV?
Well, depending on how old the television is, the first question we'd ask, of course, is is it an old cathode ray tube, the old 4:3 ratio, sort of taken up after lounge? And if they say yes to that, then we'd say maybe it's time that you don't invest money into the little box that you can buy, because there's there's remotes and cords and that sort of thing. But a new television would probably suit their cause going further anyway.
They're all broadcasting in 16:9 now.
Correct.
And what happens if you retain your old television set? Everybody gets very thin, don't they?
Indeed, they do.
So we don't want that to happen, do we?
Well, it's not a good look. No,
Yes.
it's ideal in my situation, but yeah.
We think it's a great idea. So you would recommend, really, in your heart of hearts, Paul, you'd say, look, honestly, to have a nice 16:9, it's nice and wide, best to go to a new TV set, would you say?
Yes, correct.
Because it's got Freeview built in.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier for the end consumer too, in the way that, as I say, the one remote control will work it all. If they have their old television still, there's an extra box, there's obviously extra cables, and one extra remote, which can get quite confusing for the older generation.
So I'll clear that point up, because it is important. These remote controls, you go to some people's places and they're the coffee table's just full of remote controls.
That's right, yeah.
So if you get the brand new TV, the 42-inch say, and it's got Freeview in it, what about when you get home And you've got to set it all up. Can your people will come out and set it all up for you?
We can do. I mean, all of the 100% stores within New Zealand, they offer that service. But to be fair, these days it's pretty much a self-install. It's very, very simple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Especially if it's built into the television. It's a matter of plugging in an antenna and pressing the button. It tells you, do you want to set it up now? And it does it all for you. And all the channels in the correct order, which a lot of times in the past, that hasn't happened. So,
okay. You can select the different channels.
Correct, yes.
Now, there's two ways of doing it too, isn't there? Of course, you've got the satellite in the sky. You can choose that way, or you can choose it off your old UHF aerial.
Correct.
Now, I think we better explain to our viewers a UHF aerial. We'll put a picture of it up on the screen. There's thousands of them around. They're on just about every roof in New Zealand because it's the old aerial that you used to have for Sky, isn't it?
That's correct, yes.
And of course you could get triangle television, the Maori channel and all those stuff. So many homes already have a UHF aerial.
Correct. In a lot of homes it's actually redundant and people don't think they're using it. But the truth of the matter is, in all of the new televisions you're purchasing that have Freeview, you do require that antenna to actually get the high definition signal through Freeview. So if you are, as before you said, via a satellite, you can do the dish one, but it's not in high definition. It's only through UHF that you get the high definition. So.
Why go for the high definition, Paul?
Just more lines of resolution on your television, so it can actually send out, receive a higher signal strength. So the most you get on a normal television is 720 lines of resolution. Through the Freeview HD, it will actually give you 1080 lines of information interlay. So there's quite a difference. Most of the time when you're on your when you're looking at the guide through the Freeview, it actually tells you what's in HD and what is not. So, and you can tell just by looking at it, to be fair, the difference. So,
what's your recommendation for let's say you did decide to go for the new television. What's your recommendation?
Every customer is different, to be fair, in the way that if you're watching a lot of sport and you're sitting quite close to it, obviously plasma technology is by far the superior. If it's for a smaller lounge and you don't sit too close to it, LCD and LED are perfectly fine. But in the larger sizes, when I say 46 inch and above, plasma still does tend to give you the best picture on sports and so on.
That still confuses people. I remember now, I don't know whether you would remember this, Paul, but when we all got our first video recorders, was it going to be
VHS
or Beta? So now they've created another one, plasma.
And LED.
An LED. It's called LED, is it? So, what's your opinion?
But everyone has their own preferences.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I have two at home. I have an LED and I have a plasma. My main viewing television, which is the larger one, is plasma. Because I sit relatively close to it and I do predominantly watch sport, which sport is, in my opinion, far better on a plasma screen. So.
Have you played sport, Paul?
Yeah, I used to play league when I was a young fella, yes.
Warriors are going great, aren't they?
They're doing very, very well at the moment, yes.
So you're a big Warrior fan?
Indeed I am.
Sorry to digress. Can we have a prediction from you, Paul? Where are we going to get this year with the Warriors?
I'd say we'd be doing well to be top 6 by the end of the season.
Could we win it this year? Could we beat the Storm?
On current form, I'd have to say no. I mean, a little bit of improvement and then yes. We've got a fair bit of transition within the side with the coaching and so on, so it's a bit tricky to evaluate some of the players and what their strengths are going to be.
So we're really spoiled for choice. You've got Sky, of course, and you've got My Sky, and you've got Freeview. I mean, you could, when you purchase your new TV, you could be actually thinking you're either going to go Sky or you're going to go for Freeview. One of the great things about Sky, of course, is My Sky. But what about Freeview? Have they got a...
They have a very similar product, which is called My Freeview.
My Freeview?
Yes.
That's very inventive, isn't it?
It is indeed. But it gives you the option of being able to record 2 channels at once, no different than what Sky can do, because it has its own internal hard drive. And the good thing about Freeview and the My Freeview is they have a built-in television guide.
Oh, okay.
So what that means on the remote control, you just press a button that says guide, and it brings up each channel, and you can actually book those programs and record them from that TV guide. And it's actually it's actually a live TV guide too, so it's consistently upgraded.
So everything's there for you at 100%. Why should we get our viewers to come and see you, Paul? Tell us about 100%. And
well, we do tend to listen to the customers more than some of the obviously the corporate companies and retailers. Not sure if you're aware, we actually just won the Colmar Brunton Award for the 100% group in the last month and a half for the best customer service throughout New Zealand. It was actually on Fair Go about 3 weeks ago. So we've come out on top by
Congratulations.
quite a mile, so it was good.
You think that had something to do with you, Paul?
Oh, absolutely. No, we do tend to go the extra mile in the way that, you know, I mentioned to you earlier, is listening to the clients, not just trying to sell them what you think they want, is actually asking them if they watch sport, how close they sit to a TV before you just sell them a box that they take away. And of course, us offering the installation service and peace of mind when they get it home, they know it's going to work and how it works. So.
But Paul, if they want to talk to you personally,
Yes.
they've seen you on the show and they say, I like that young man, he's a very nice man, I think he would listen to me. Can they give you a call personally?
Absolutely. I'm on the shop floor, and even if I'm in the office, I'm always available to talk to. So.
Okay, so what's a telephone number they could call you with?
It's Auckland 09, of course.
09,
451 9160.
Once again, Paul.
451
Yeah.
9160.
And they can give you, and talk televisions.
We can talk anything. Yep.
But of course, at 100%, there's everything there for you.
In our store in particular, we've got quite an array, all the way from your heat pumps, to your lawnmowers, to your TVs, to your fridges and washing machines.
Now, Paul, we have very generous people come in here, and they always give us a little gift to give away to our viewers. Any ideas of something we could give away in the store?
Absolutely. I mean, considering we're talking the Freeview thing today, I'd like to put up on offer. Let's go one step further. We'll do one of the new Panasonic Freeview twin tuner recorders, which has a retail value of about $899. So,
wow! You will give. Let's explain this carefully. This is fabulous. Say it very slowly because we're shocked about this. What are you going to give away?
Well, Panasonic have a unique recorder which has two Freeview tuners on board.
Yes.
So you can record two channels at once if you wish.
Thank you, Paul. That's wonderful. To the value of $800. So all they have to do is email Gerard at The Beat Goes On, and they have to have a question, though, Paul. So what could be the question?
How easy can I make it, do you think? What store in Auckland is giving the best service to consumers and obviously is giving away a nice prize on Gerard's program today?
It's got to be. Can I give them a clue?
Go for your
It's
life.
100% Albany Extreme. Paul, you're a generous man. Thank you, Gerard. Thanks, Fred.